Good afternoon, traders. It is Wednesday, September 5th, 2018, and the U.S. stock market is closed. Back in August, we had a really terrible day, um, about in the middle of the month, I recall. And I said at that time that that was the worst day we had had all year. We'd have to go back to uh, 2017 or maybe even 2016 to find a day that was that bad. Well, the bad news is today was even worse than that day. We kind of set a record for bad days. We had negative about $3,000. I think on the close yesterday, when stocks opened shortly after the open, we actually had gone positive to positive a couple $1,000. And by the time we get out, we closed out negative $19,000, if you can believe it. Negative 19. Just absolutely horrible. And I'm going to show you a couple stocks to show you the pattern that we were up against today and talk about that a little. We also got into only two new positions, both negative, and we're carrying negative 2,600 going into tomorrow. So this was an absolutely horrible, horrible day. Um, Dow, you can see here what happened to the Dow. It went lower, then went higher, ended up closing officially up 23, so not too much there to help us understand this. Let me show you two stocks, and then I'm going to come back to the Dow here, and I'm going to talk a little bit about my thoughts about this. Um, this first stock, this is a new stock for us. This is um, Twilio Incorporated. And we had bought this yesterday, second hour, just screamed all day, pulled back just a little bit. This morning it opened almost unchanged. That's about where I took that screenshot showing we're up $2,000 on our whole open trade portfolio this morning. And then you can see the thing just collapsed from there. Now let me show you one other stock. This is also a new stock for us. It is Exact Sciences, EXAS. And you can see here we bought this toward the end of the day yesterday. It jumps up this morning. When it's up here, this thing's up like $3,300 positive for us. And then it just collapses again, just like Twilio. And we ended up going from positive $3,300 to negative 520. This is exact same pattern we saw with Twilio. Twilio is a cloud communications company, and Exact Sciences is biosciences. They're totally unrelated. And not only that, I found many stocks that we were not even trading that were showing the same pattern. So, and then you go back here and you look at the Dow, and there's absolutely nothing in the Dow that would suggest anything like this was going on, and yet I found almost all the stocks in our portfolio had this same kind of pattern with opening higher and then crashing about the time we were getting out of them. But it's not us that's causing this, because I found the same pattern in stocks that we weren't even trading. So my son and I were having a little discussion last night about this, and he's a math major. I don't know that that makes him an expert, but we were discussing the fact that today about 80% of all stock trading is being done by algorithms. And it seems pretty obvious to me that there's something going on that triggers most of these algorithms to bail at the beginning of the day. And of course, we do not bail at the end of the day. We wait a little while, so we're getting really screwed with this. My son thinks that there's some way of figuring this out. I don't know if there is. I know many of you might say, well, why don't we bail at the end of the day? But I can turn around and show you time and time again where that is a bad strategy. It would have been a very good strategy this morning, but it's not consistently a good strategy. So at this point, I don't have a solution. I do know that if I stick with the system we trade over time, it makes a substantial amount of money. But today was certainly a very discouraging day. That's the best I can say. Anyway, this is Trader Bob signing off. I'll be back here tomorrow on Thursday.